awarded the fellowship, postdoc fellowship grant that provided by Islamic Development Bank and the Foreign Academy of Science 2021. And this fellowship, it's mainly targeted for women scientists, that the early career women scientists, for skill building in sustainability, science sustainability. The fellowship is mainly targeted the women in the least 21 developed countries that member of Islamic Development Bank. And it was to mention that 18 out of these 21 countries are located in Africa. So this is opportunity for African female scientists. The fellowship, it's provided from 3 to 6 months postdoc training in developing country. For this fellowship, I tried 2 times to apply for this fellowship, but I didn't success with my application. But after I attending the ASFI grant writing course 2021, finally I success with this fellowship, and I got it, and now I'm in my host center starting my postdoc training.
Yes, I have participated in several ASFI trainings. I have actually, I think, been among the greatest beneficiaries of your trainings. And the first course I took with the AFSI was a grant writing course. And after taking that training, I settled down and put across several proposals. And out of the several proposals that I put across, I was able to receive one grant to train participants on grant writing, 30 participants from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And it was a great success. And out of the people that I trained, there are others also who have been able to receive grants as a result of that training. So the AFSI training has not just helped me, but it has had a multiplier effect.
The grant is a national grant of tertiary education fund, TETfund of Nigeria. It's a 50 million naira grant. One can ask for as much as 50 million naira. Actually, we applied in 2019. Unfortunately, we failed. In 2020, we are equally applied. The reply we got was that, our proposal was okay, but in view of the competitiveness, we could not make the list. So that was the reply we got from TETfund then. And after attending the ASFI workshop on grantsmanship, we learned so much from there, and then we presented exactly the same thing, but with the same proposal, with some modification or based on what we learned from that workshop. And to the glory of God, we got the reply this month that the concept note was approved, and we were asked to submit our full proposal, which we have done before the deadline. So the grantsmanship workshop that we participated in, organized by ASFI, really helped in making us to know the nitty-gritty and all that it takes to be able to write a very good and sound grant proposal.
Yes, I have the first one last year, and it's from Feminist Africa, and the grant is to undertake a research on feminist organizing to look at intergenerational gap. And I applied with a friend, but I'm the lead investigator. And I think I got in because after the workshop, I had new ideas on how to apply and what issues to put across to increase my chances. And then this year, I got one to undertake a research for an organization that was doing a gender analysis of fisheries, gender-based violence and sexual violence in fisheries community, especially in the fisheries value chain. Yes, and it's been amazing.
Great. I would say that other than grant writing training that I attended and I was able to write a proposal which was funded, I also attended the reproducibility training and the systematic review and meta-analysis training. And I also put across another proposal on reproducibility in scientific research, and I received a grant. As a result of that grant, I still trained participants from East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania on reproducibility, and it was such a great success. So I've been able to receive more grants other than the grant training, and also I've been able to create very, very strong research networks across Africa.
I think the main thing is not like I know it has enhanced my confidence in applying. At first, you are not sure what information to put there, but now I'm so clear what goes into each phase. Apart from the success I got, I have a few that we did not get, but I don't think it's because the write-up wasn't good. I think because maybe the category and the people they were interested in was not, because we had one I applied on behalf of my department, and they mentioned that it was a strong application, but the issues that they were looking at other issues that our code did not fit in very well. So it has enhanced my confidence. I've also built the strength to take rejections. You taught us about that it's not always successful. So I felt you'd be worried, but now I know, okay, it's not because I'm bad. It just means that I have to do better and go on. And as an academic, it's one of the key requirements that we need for promotion. So when I started, I had just been employed as a research fellow. And by the time I was going for my confirmation, I already had this grant on my project, which shows that I was contributing to academic progress. So it has been very helpful for my career personally, and also the people I deal with, because I'm able to impart some of the knowledge I have learned to them. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to winning bigger grants.
Personally, in this part of the world, one thing that is lacking is mentoring. Well, like I was discussing with a colleague some few days ago, the advantage that some of us have is that we had mentors, supervisors. I was supervised by Professor Kende Onwochei Okonjo, an uncle to Dr. Ms. Okonjo Iweala, was my master's and PhD supervisor. This man was he's really a mentor. He mentored us, and we are benefiting from that. And anywhere I find myself, I want to gather people around me, even my place of work here, to share together. Because a man who has no successor, he has not succeeded. So I try to do that. And that's why in the mentoring group 3, I want to see the possibility of carrying everybody along so that we can make impact together.
Apart from grant writing, after the workshop, I've been able to be shortlisted for 2 postdocs. I made it to the final stage of the interview, which had never happened because previous years you don't even hear from them. This one I got to 2 final stages, one in Netherlands, one in the US. I didn't get in though, but then I felt like it just means that now the application gets better. So there's something I'm doing right, and yeah, I'm grateful.
I really appreciate the mentorship groups that are usually formed after every ASFI trainings. I am currently in 2 of them, and very, very great conversations are taking place there. There's knowledge transfer. People are able to strengthen their skills through the mentorship groups. We're able to clarify issues that come along as we put into practice the skills that we have learned. And so for me, I would encourage you to keep forming those mentorship groups, because like we have severally said during our conversations, webinars, and research tips, Africa is in need of scientific solutions to the problems that are ailing us. And I believe that the mentorship groups are a strong platform for us to do that as scientists.
I was one of the participants of ASFI 2021 grant writing course, and I like this course very much. Firstly, because it's catching tips, the process of grant writing, and it's contribute to my success in my fellowship grant. The course equipped me with the best practice for how to align my proposal with the requirement and objective of the funder, and also how to plan my work, and also how to budget my proposal, my grant proposal.
We also learned, from the practical discussion, because unlike some other ones, other grantmanship courses that we have attended, you see, where we were not taught how to really act. There was no practical session. But in the case of ASFI, there was practical session that made us be grouped into various parts, and then this really helped us in writing very good proposal.
What I find different to the ASFI one is the intimacy we have with ASFI, the group work, the relationship you have when you're facilitating. It makes it more family oriented, so you're able to express yourself. But this one, it was held in a space where the other academics, so it wasn't that intimate. What I also find is that I was just maybe rehearsing the things he had already taught me, because it was like basically everything that he taught us was coming up in those spaces. And there are some things that I know that didn't come up there, so I was pushing. I remember they gave us group work, and then I'll tell my group, so when they're talking, they say, oh, Amanda said this, and they'll say, oh yes, that's how it's like. So just like contributing to what was being taught. So I felt that it was just like an update of what I had already learned, and so it confirmed the fact that what I had earlier before participating in that was solid.
In terms of what is unique to ASFI trainings, for me, what I found to be very unique is, first, the issue of content. The content is well researched and very, very logically arranged, because for me, I believe that knowledge should be logically arranged for it to help people or the participants. The second thing that is unique about ASFI is the issue of the approach that is used. The approach that is used is quite friendly. It's adult learning friendly, and also considers the fact that the participants that you target or your trainings target are quite busy people, and so they require some level of flexibility. So, and finally, the issue of practical part of the trainings, very, very important, because participants are provided with an opportunity to practice the theory that they have learned and put it into practice. So by the time the training is over, everyone is convinced and actually very ready to put into practice what they have learned.
I have attended many grant writing courses before the one that ASFI. Compared to that course, the ASFI course, it's a unique course. It's well structured, and it's unique in the teaching approach, the combination of lectures and the group work. This allow us to have hand-on and real-time practice on what we learn in the lectures. And also this give me opportunity to contact with others, African scientists and researchers from different professional background, and this I learned from this very much. Also, for the ASFI course, I like the idea of the monitoring group. Really, in the my monitor group helped me a lot during my proposal process writing, and that group, it's continuing now. It's all over the past year. We continuing, we support each other, and I like this idea, or I like this activity.
Always excited to recommend every course that comes up to my colleagues. I share a lot when it's time for the trainings. I find that not only the knowledge that they will acquire, but also the environment to learn from somebody. I don't know how to put it in words, but then I think your approach that you use is quite different from what we are used to every time. The opening up of space for us to talk. So yes, I do every time. I have recommended several of them to my colleagues who have applied. Some, I don't know, but I don't get feedback. But okay, 2 people, I think they didn't get in, they got back to me, but then I always recommend it and I ask them to keep trying.
Without hesitation, I would recommend the ASFI course for my colleagues and my students, and especially for those are struggling in writing funding proposal. Because we in Africa mainly we lack the training how to write and how to present our idea and how to present our objective or research objective.
I've even been doing that, and I'm sure some should have been participating one way or the other. And for the fact that some of these materials are available on YouTube, I'm sure many have been enjoying that. And every program you organize, I'm interested in sharing with others. In fact, presently the platform of professors of Nigerian universities, any advert you bring, I send to that platform, and other colleagues in other universities, so as to encourage them, because there's so much to benefit from what you have been giving us.
When I took your grant writing course, I was able to recommend, and we were able to have conversations, and we managed to organize an institutional training for my university, Karatina University, where we did a 3 weeks training for my colleagues. They really appreciate. So much has happened since we did that training. People have formed research groups, and there's quite some promising work that is taking place. So yes, I recommend, and even my colleagues, they are very excited, and they keep recommending and keep asking me when we are taking the next training.